like Dr. Freshwater. And I'm not just talking about her racial background, I'm talking about her gender background. So that lets you know that the majority of teachers coming into our educational systems are white females. As a matter of fact, over 94%. That's across America. Now, I'm responsible for educating these individuals each and every day. And as I say about the fear concept, if I fear walking into the room, and I'm going to educate you, Ms. Hines, if I feared you, if I didn't understand you, how effective would I really be? And I share this with my students each and every day. I tell them, I cannot come in this classroom scared of you, fearful of you. If I'm scared of you, if I'm fearful of you, you're going to eat me alive. You're going to eat me alive. Now, these are adults I'm talking about, mind you. I'm not talking about children. But the same thing applies to children. Because some people think that if you teach the little bitty people, that they will not eat you alive. Well, I'm here to tell you, little 3- and 4-year-olds will eat you alive. And so the first thing is you cannot be afraid. You cannot be afraid. I just have the privilege and honor. Our department chair, Dr. Julie Ray, she decided to make some changes in our department. And she said, Shonta, well, since you do this culturally responsive teaching thing, I'm going to align all of your classes to go with this. She must have been reading my mind. Because initially, I taught reading, I taught language, I taught ed psychology. And I was like, oh, those are arcane subjects, but this is my passion. This is my passion. So what you put out to the universe gives back to you. Dr. Freshwater can attest to that. So now I have the privilege and honor of teaching Introduction to Teaching, Diversity, and it's fabulous, and Social Studies. And I was a Social Studies teacher by training. So I get to implement culturally responsive teaching on a daily basis. And the fabulous thing that happens is that I have diverse students that enroll in my class. And I must have some connection to China. And I'm just sharing this with you. I've never been to China. But I must have some connections to China because Chinese students enroll in my class. And they love coming, and I love it. And so I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, what is this thing with Chinese individuals? I don't know anything about China, but when they come into my classroom, I get to know them. I try to learn the language. I try to learn the lingo. We bow at each other. When they become comfortable with me, they'll even start hugging me. And so if you think about the person from that cultural background, they normally are not touchy-feely. But my students are touchy-feely. So that lets me know that I have an impact. I'm doing something right. Excuse me. So again, we have to be willing. When you're feeling uncomfortable, you have to be willing to take a stand and look fear straight in the face and say, fear, I fear you no more. I am here to do what's in the best interest. Let's say if you're an engineer, you're here to do what is in the best interest of mechanical engineering. If you're a lawyer, you're here to do what's in the best interest of life. If you're a surgeon, you're here to do what's in the best interest of surgery. You gotta have a desire. You gotta have a want. You gotta have a need to want to do it and want to do it the best way that you possibly can do it. Now, there are some individuals in the room, and I'm not going to scare anybody, but they will tell you. I used to stand on tables. I don't stand on tables anymore. I just want y'all to know that. Now I'm probably saying, I used to stand on tables. In these heats, I would stand on tables and I would jump on top of the table. I would jump on top of the table. Luckily, they were good tables. But I would jump on top of the table to captivate and get everybody's attention. And the room would become silent. And so I would do that to let the teachers in my building know I don't have a disconnect with them. They like excitement. They want you to act like you're insane. So you see my voice project. So I will jump on top of the table and excite you to get your attention, to captivate you. So once I get your attention, then we can go in and do whatever the goal and objective is for that particular moment, for that particular day. But if you do not get their attention, if you don't understand them, if you cannot relate to them, nothing is going to work. When we talk about working with our students in particular, and young adults in particular, you got to be able to code switch. Write that down, ladies and gentlemen. Code switch. Now, code switching is, let's say, for example, Mr. Smith back here. Mr. Smith and I both code switching now. I'm going to say, what's up, Mr. Smith? What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Okay, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to give you the hands. You know how we do it. What's up, homie? Okay? Now I'm going to have Mr. Smith go to his professional mode. Good morning, Mr. Smith.
Good morning, Dr. Smith.
How are you today?
I'm great. And you?
Great. Notice how his voice, the language changed, minds changed. That's code switching. So when we're working with young adults and we're working with middle school, even some elementary kids, for example, you might have to code switch and use examples that they can relate to. Like, I'm going to do some things and you might think I'm crazy, like 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz is a rapper. That's what he does. He said 2 Chainz. My brother and I get into debates about 2 Chainz all the time. I might not have said it the way that he said it, but the kids going to think you're cool. I said, what you know about 2 Chainz? That he's sick, that he's out of control, that he needs somebody to assist and help him. But you can't help him, man. Then he's riding around, I'm getting. I'm riding around, I'm getting. I'm riding around, I'm getting. It's mine, I spent it. Nonsense. But you cannot attack our youth because that's what they listen to. What did you used to listen to? What did you listen to?
All the time. Uncle Dale.
Did your parents have to hear what you were listening to? Sometimes, but not all the time. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to remember that. So before we really get off into what I want everybody to stand, everybody stand up. All right? I want you to clap like this.
Motivated, downright. Motivated, right on.